Hi. We are all in lockdown today, and I would like to give my 2 cents point of view about a lot of things that has been going on for the last few months since the virus has started first in China and it has now gone everywhere. First of all, when the virus started infected a lot of people, especially in China. Sad to say, many governments took it too lightly. I was one of them who were not happy that we were still allowing people traveling in and out of the country because I always believe in being proactive instead of reactive. Right now, it saddens me that the government is taking reactive steps because prevention could have done a long time ago if proactive steps have been done. In today's world, people move around. There is a borderless world. Viruses do tend to travel as people do. So, there was a lot of times when Malaysian were having an open arms towards people that other countries have restricted, saying that, it is Malaysian to welcome visitors. But there are times when this shouldn't be because our life and our health is more important than being friendly at this moment of time. However, it's too late to comment about that, but it's a lesson for us to learn. Money isn't everything, life is. So look at the number of people who have been infected. That's the first thing I would like to comment. Number two, when we started having people in Malaysia infected with the virus, life was still going on as usual. And no one was asked to do anything special except ensure that we keep ourselves clean. We keep ourselves, protected by wearing mask. So the issue of mask is something very annoying to me because every time I go to the pharmacy, from the time they started, the mask has always been out of stock. Hand sanitizer has always been out of stock. So the thing is, why are people allowed to buy a lot of masks? Or why isn't there enough stock? If there is a limitation to how many masks or packet of masks someone can buy. So at the end, I've been walking around without mask for the past whenever this virus has started, that I've been always positive in my thoughts that, no mask can stop you from getting sickness. It saddens me because this is the same thing about what's going on the last 2 days, which I'll come to when I discuss that. So there was no mask. People were still going on life as normal. I have not been going to shopping malls for the last 1 or 2 months because I was so busy with my life. This has been the longest that I've not been to shopping complexes to just walk around and enjoy window shopping. Basically, I just go and do grocery shopping, which just lasts like half an hour, and I'm back by myself. I don't even bring my kids, and this has been going for from the time the virus started. Because of also not only because of the virus that I've not been going out. It has never been in my thoughts a lot. Actually, this virus has not been in my mind from the time it started, except just to ask why the government is not taking proactive measures. Basically, I am too busy with my children and my work that I just had no time to go out. Mm. So and what irritates me is that in the midst of this, with we having like, for example, we had how many very few cases, people were still going traveling during the period to countries that I was shocked, like going to Korea, to Vietnam, I don't know, and they were so happily announcing that they are going, and then after they have traveled, they come back and they still go to work. And I felt that why it actually it didn't bother me, but there were a lot of people asking like they are very selfish because they only think about themselves. The issue was I've already bought ticket, so I have to go because if not, I'll waste my money. Well, yes, you will waste your money, but you are jeopardizing the life of hundreds or even thousands of people because of your selfish act. You are thinking about your money that you want to travel, but when you travel and you come back and then you mingle and socialize with everyone around you, you are putting all the other people at risk for your selfish act, right? I don't know how the government even approve of government servants going overseas during this outbreak and just saying that you shouldn't go to this country, and this country, when we know fully well that people from infected countries are traveling everywhere too. So it saddens me, and these people who came back and feel that it's okay and they mingle around. I I have no words for that kind of people. Right? That's the second thing I'm talking about. And the third thing is when things became worse. Why do always we as human beings need to wait for our government? Things that we can control. These are things we can control. Gathering. You gather. I don't know how many 100,000. None of my business. It's you religious gathering. I don't care. But when you do that and then you give an excuse right now when I read online about, we were not banned from gathering. We were not done asked to do this. We were not asked to do that. Well, we are all given brains. Some things need not be authorized. With the ongoing of the virus all around the world, you are still doing gatherings here and there. And then when people get upset with you because of your gathering, we have such a spike in the number of cases, you get offended. It is your fault. Any people with logical and rational mind would have just cancelled any gatherings that has a lot of people, just to be safe, because we do not know where this people that is coming has gone to and has contact with. Right, now that is done with. Okay, no matter how upset we are with them or annoyed with them, we cannot do anything. Let's come to my final point, which is I find the funniest of all, and also shows me and tells me the moral values and the civic consciousness that we as society, regardless whether we are first world country or second world country or third world country, it doesn't matter anymore. Right. When the outbreak became worse, people being panic buying stuff. I didn't. I was at home because there's nothing to be panic about for me. I mean, I know that I can still go out and buy stuff, but the reason I don't get panic is one, I don't read news and I don't listen to news at all about this virus or anything that's happening in the world, because what's the point? I'm trying to leave the time before social media, before internet was around, because I believe that if important news I need to know, I will get it. I have WhatsApp. People are sharing stuff on WhatsApp, on Telegram, on other kinds of media. So I don't read news at all nowadays. So I'm cool and calm. Until today, I am still. So I went out only on Monday afternoon to get vegetables to cook since my kids are home and I wasn't working. So I wanted to buy food, vegetables. I have raw materials, but I want to buy some vegetables because there isn't left any in my refrigerator, and I was shocked. I didn't go to a supermarket. I just went to a small vegetable fresh sundry shop that's here that sells vegetables and fruits. My God, the shelf was clear because this is a place that I go all the time to buy my vegetables, and it's always filled. And I see lines of people buying all the vegetables. Well, I did manage to get, because the thing with me is I go with positive thought that everything will be there. So I did get, but the only vegetable that I got was French beans, a cabbage, and I thought, oh, that's fine. I have some vegetables, so I bought that, and I bought eggs, and then I wanted to buy bread since my kids and I have bread every breakfast. How we have our breakfast is up to us, but that's what we eat every day, bread. And I couldn't get a loaf of bread at the place I usually buy. And I was like, what's going on? And thankfully, there was a person who told me to get it at another place. And I went there and I got it, a loaf of bread, and I brought it back. As I was walking home, I met these two elderly people who was carrying so much stuff, and I know them, they are my neighbors. And then they say to me, oh, you also went out shopping? I said, yes, just to buy some things for me to cook tomorrow. And they said that, oh, we after this, we cannot go out anywhere. And I'm like, no, we can. He said, no, it's going to be a lockdown. I said, if there is a lockdown, you still can go out to buy your groceries. It's not it is a curfew, but it's not a curfew where you are not allowed to go out at all. And I said, you're only not allowed to travel overseas or anywhere else, but you can go out and buy groceries. And people say, oh, really? I said, yes. And that's it. And that was the night, at 10 o'clock at night, the same night, on a Monday night is when our dear Prime Minister announced lockdown. Okay? So on Tuesday, Monday, I wanted to buy vegetables from the shop. And then there was a lot of people, so I was like, fine, I'm going home. So I got that. So on Tuesday, I want to make fish curry for my kids. I have fish, I have everything, and I realized I do not have enough curry powder on Monday night. Then I said, oh, it's okay. I'll get it on Tuesday at the nearest supermarket. There's a supermarket near my house. And the supermarket opens at 8. So I had a good night's sleep, got up 7 something, had my breakfast, and I took my car. Usually I walk, which is quite near, but I decided to take my car. I was just lazy to walk, and I went to the supermarket. I got a shock of my life. The whole parking space, there was no empty parking space, so I had to go to the rooftop and park. And I was like, I've gone to this supermarket sometimes in the morning at 8 something, and it's always empty. So I said, what's going on? And I got a shock of my life to see people buying stuff like there is no tomorrow. So you should look at my basket. I just bought one as I was trying to get the fish curry powder. I got one vegetable, just one vegetable. I just got one vegetable, okay? Because I saw it was fresh, and I just took it, and I said, okay, I can use this, because since I only had cabbage and French beans, so I said, okay, I'll get this, a leafy one, because I don't have a leafy one for my kids, so I got that. My kids love yogurt, and I couldn't get yogurt at the vegetable shop that I went on Monday, so I got one at that shop, and I got a softener. And then I got some, what is this called? Noodles, the mixture for noodles. Right, I got that. And my basket was the least. And I'm looking at my basket, and I wanted to pay. Oh my God, the line was like a kilometer long. And I had to line up because I needed the fish curry powder. So I took off my phone and I was looking at messages. I was playing games on my phone, and at the same time I was just looking around, and I was saying, oh my God, should I just walk away? Because we were supposed to be socially distancing ourselves, and everyone was standing so close to one another, very close to one another. And I feel at that time something is wrong with the society, because it was clearly stated in the Prime Minister announcement when he said he announced the lockdown was supermarkets will be opened. All right, food supply will not be jeopardized, meaning there will be trucks to send food to the supermarket, so we will never have problems about not having food supplies. His announcement was very clear about no movement, no gatherings, mass gatherings, about the closure of all schools, universities, kindergarten. It was so clear, and all government premises are supposed to be closed except for the essential ones. Right. So it was very clear, and yet it saddens me that people, because he made the announcement in Malay, and it was so clear. I can understand. Just by listening to his announcement, I knew what can and cannot be done. But there were a lot of questions like, would market be open? And I'm like, food markets are not supposed to be closed, except right now I heard Selangor market is closed due to whatever reason. But supermarkets are open. Why are we hoarding stuff? The issue I have is, number one, you jeopardize your health by lining up close with one another and you're not bothered that you're going to get the virus because your priority is to get your food supply, because there were people with 3 trolleys filled. And I think when I saw the person having 3 trolleys, I think the person had to pay nearly 2,000 ringgit. And I was like, wow, what are you doing with all this stuff? It's not that the whole country, no shops are open. And I line up for about an hour. And you should look at the cashier face looking at the stuff. And she looked at me because I had the least stuff. And I said, yeah, this is all I have because I'll come back another day to get any other stuff that I need. And she said, yeah, I don't. And she said that to me in Malay, I don't understand why people are panic. And I said, that's the only thing they can control. That's my biggest issue. It's sad that even with the release of the PM announcement in a written form, and there was English version, Malay version, I think there is also a Mandarin version, I don't know whether that's a Tamil version. People are still asking questions. There is a hotline that you can call if you have questions. Don't ask the public, because the public doesn't know specifics when it comes to your situation. Get yourself informed. Wearing masks doesn't guarantee. There are a few things you need to know. Wearing masks doesn't guarantee you don't get the virus. Distancing yourself from people is the only way to prevent yourself from getting the virus. Right now, all of us are at risk because we have been moving about. Even myself, my kids are all at risk. We have been moving about, we have been mixing around because we never took the precautions to take care. Because wearing the mask, just cover your nose, you can get from your touch. You didn't wear gloves. Okay, and you touch your face, your clothes. Your clothes can have the virus, and then you meet someone, you hug someone. So wearing mask doesn't guarantee you don't get the virus. Cleanliness, washing your hands and making sure you're clean all the time, that's the first preventive measure. Panic buying doesn't help. You have to remember there are other people in this world besides yourself. Being selfish and only think of yourself and all the excuses like, no, I'm going to cook all this, I'm going to do all this. But you see, the thing is, buy how you normally buy, not excessively, because shops are still open. The government would not make us go hungry. If the curfew becomes worse or the lockdown becomes worse, they will allow us a time limit to go. And I feel that supermarkets should start imposing, number one, the limit of items you should buy. Number two, only allow certain numbers of people to go into the supermarket to get stuff, because that's the only way you can practice social distancing. You can't allow just everyone to go in if there is a limited time allowed. Now there's no limited time allowed, but they still should allow like just maybe 10 people to go in, shop and come out. Since the other shops are closed, there's no reason for you to linger around in the grocery area. Just get your stuff and come out. All right. Cleanliness, wearing, sorry, what I'm saying, keeping yourself clean, going out at certain times to get food. Do not cope. I know yesterday a lot of people took the opportunity to so-called balik kampung. You are bringing your disease. If you are having, you won't know to other people when you are traveling. This is when, that's why I'm talking about moral and civic consciousness. The highest moral value is self-actualization. Self-actualization is when you know what you have to do is for the benefits of more people than yourself. Take care of yourself, right? You take care of yourself, it's true. But when you want to do certain action, you still have to think about the impact and effect it has on other people. When you think of that, and you know that it's best for me to stay where I am, uh, than for me to transmit, that is self-actualization, because you know that your action has an impact on someone else. Because yes, we should love ourselves, but at the same time, what is the greater good? That's the question. What is the greater good? If your action will make other people suffer, is not the greatest good. That is what is lacking in today's society, whether it's first world country or third world country, where people are hoarding stuff. I see that and I laugh. Sometimes people wonder why I laugh. It's because I can notice your values that you have. Because we are teaching our children the values. When you do stuff like that, your kids are watching. All right. My kids are cool and calm. They're not bothered about anything. They're not worried, because I'm cool and calm. I'm not moving anywhere. I'll tell them, you just stay home. I'll go and get stuff and come back. And they just ask me, Mommy, did this happen to you before? I say, when I was a baby, I think we had emergency because of the communists at that time. But I was a baby. I didn't know what was going on. But it has been a long time since anything of this happened. So these are things we have to think about. Some of you have planned your marriage. Some of you feel that, oh, I need to go through my marriage. This is when self-actualization comes to. Okay, marriage is not about the ceremony. Marriage is a union of two people coming together. And the ceremony is just a celebration for your new milestone in your life when you get together with someone else. That can be postponed. Life cannot be postponed. You want family members to come, you will be there. Why can't you just go through your ceremony quietly, and then once this blow over, do your ceremony? Many people are like, I've booked this, I've booked this. Again, coming down to money. If money can be exchangeable with your life, everybody would do it, but it's not. You imagine if you have a gathering with even close friends for your marriage, and because you already booked the place and so on, or whatever, you go and you don't know who among yourself, even it can be you, carry the virus, and because of that gathering people get sick. Can you live with yourself? I think most Malaysian can, because it's always me, 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 that no one thinks about other people. When they hoard buying things, it's me, me, me. They don't care about the old people, people with kids, whether they have enough food to eat. It's only about themselves. So my only advice is equip yourself with knowledge and don't panic. There's nothing to panic. You cannot do anything about this. If you're infected, and you need to go to the doctor. Your life depends not on you, on circumstances and everything. It's too late to panic now. We should have panicked. If you want to be panicked, we should have panicked this a few months ago, but we didn't. So what's the point of panicking when we know the virus is around us, it is somewhere, and we do not know who's carrying it, and yet you still want to go on doing your gatherings, keep on, doing whatever you want to do, taking no account to other people's life. Sorry to say they're selfish, and this is my point of view. I do not need your point of view. You can have yours, and this is mine. I've spoken long, and you cannot comment on my video because I do not bother about your comments, because I know I'm talking from common sense, where most of you have lost your senses. All right, take care, and may God be with all of you. All right, God bless all of you. And be safe, everyone. And always remember, follow the precaution measures. Don't be around people. Make sure you keep yourself clean. Take care.